Hello and welcome to a new review of the new episode of Game of Thrones, and now his watch is ended. Alright, so yet another episode of Game of Thrones, which is episode 4, season 3. I have to say, it gets better. This is fantastic. This is probably my favorite episode so far. I have a lot of things to say, so let's just get on with it. Alright, so the first thing I want to mention is more Joffrey and Margaery, which is great because it's so awesome to see Margaery actually trying to manipulate Joffrey, and she does it. She actually manages to do that, and it's just so cool to see because we never got that in the books, and it's so weird to see how Joffrey acts like a whole nother person when he's with Margaery. He's like a sweet little kid. He's not like the brutal, egotistical idiot that he was when he was with Sansa and stuff like that. He's a completely different person with Margaery, and it's so great to see Margaery just like playing around with him. I think it's just so great. And Margaery, she's gotten a really big role in this show now. She was in the books, but she wasn't really centered that much. But here in the show, she's becoming one of the main characters, and she's really clever. I've said this before, I know, but I just really start to like her character, and it's going to be interesting to see what she does next. We also got a scene with her and Sansa, and I really like to see their friendship. It's really good, and she has this plan where Sansa can become part of the Tyrell family, and she can go to Highgarden if she marries with Sir Loras, because when Margaery becomes queen, Cersei has no power over Sansa anymore, so she's more free to go where she wants. So Margaery, she's a clever character. And we also got a lot of Olenna, or Olenna. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I'll say Olenna. She is the Queen of Thorns, and I haven't mentioned her. I'm pretty sure she was in episode 2, but I haven't mentioned her yet. But she's a really great character. One of the most memorable Tyrell characters from the books. She's not afraid to say what she means to anybody. She says her opinions loud and clear, and she likes to be, get some fear in the heart. But yeah, she's really a tough character to be that old, and just walking into King's Landing, and thinks she can do whatever she wants, and she's not afraid of anything. It's just a really badass character. But yeah, we got a scene with her and Varys, where they talk about Littlefinger, and they think that Littlefinger will take with him Sansa when he goes to the Arya to marry. Was it Lisa? I think it was. I don't quite remember, but either way, they plan out something, and we got a lot of scenes with Varys, and that I thought was really cool because he's a really interesting character, and he's the one that they called the Spider. I remember that in the books they always called him Spider, and he's a really interesting character because he's always so silent. He always speaks in riddles, and he doesn't really reveal much of his character, only through his riddles. But we got this scene where him and Tyrion is opening a coffin, and Varys tells how he became like a Enoch and stuff like that, and just really cool. It's just so cool to see things we didn't get in the book and just see it on the screen, and I think it's awesome. And Varys is one of the most interesting characters in King's Landing, and yeah, I hope we get more scenes, because that was one of my favorite scenes in season 2 with Varys and Tyrion, just having their conversations, and I hope we get more of that in season 3, because two really clever, mysterious characters go together, and I always like the scenes with Varys and Littlefinger. There were also it was like Sherlock Holmes versus Moriarty, kind of, and yeah, it's really cool. And Theon, we get more Theon, and he's not in the book either. Well, in the third book, and it's great to see where he's going. And we finally got to know. After I did the review of the third episode, I was talking about this mysterious guy who keeps helping Theon. Well, I searched on the internet and I found out that he is bastard son to Rose Bolton, and his name is Ramsay Snow. And what I read is that he is actually the most evilest character in the whole series, in the books. What I read was that he was he was in A Clash of Kings. Now you might think, oh, you said you read the books. Well, I actually haven't read A Clash of Kings. I read only parts. That's the only one I haven't read. I'm currently reading the fourth book and soon reading the fifth book. So yeah, the second book I haven't read, but I really want to. Maybe when I've finished the fifth book, we'll see. But yeah, what I heard that he was with Theon when he took over Winterfell, and I heard he did a lot of evil stuff, and he was like the most evil character in the realm. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see more of that character. So yeah, but what happens is that Ramsay, he tricks Theon in back to the torture chamber, which Theon doesn't know before he lights up the room and he sees this torture thing that he gets tied up, and yeah, and he blames Theon for killing the guards, the torture people. So yeah, it's really sad to see this with Theon, because as I said before, it wasn't his fault, and yeah, I really pity him, kind of. So yeah, we start to sympathize more with Jaime, and I really like that, because Jaime is my second favorite character, and it's just so good to see him developing more into a good guy, because after he loses his hand, he changes completely. He still has that ego and that stuff, but he starts to care more about Brienne, as Brienne starts to care more about Jaime, and they get a little, relationship there. Not like a love relationship, but, they get a little more friends, and, Jaime, he starts to respect Brienne more, and I really like that. That is very good to see. And it's really sad to see Jaime, like, so down in the mud. He gets completely trashed in the mud. But I mean, if you look at him in the beginning, all the way back to season 1, he was like at the top. He was the best. He was in the King's Guard. He's a Lannister and all that, and now you see him, he's getting beaten in the mud. He's lost his hand, and it's just really sad to see where this character is going. But he will get up again. And we also got a really tense scene at Craster's Keep. Things are going to, fall apart, because with the White Walkers, the end of the world is kind of coming, and there's a lot of wounded at Craster's Keep, and they have to stay there a little longer till, they get strong again and they can go back to the wall. But some of the Night's Watch, well, they aren't really happy with Craster, because they find out that Craster, he keeps a lot of his food and wine away from them. He hides a lot of the food, and that these people don't like at all. Well, some of them, and it basically, they kill Craster, and sadly but true, Lord Commander Mormont gets stabbed in, I think it was in the back, yeah, and he sadly dies. But yeah, there's a big fight in Craster's Keep, and Sam, he escapes with the girl who gave birth last episode, which was a son. Which Craster, he kills sons, he feeds them to the White Walkers. So yeah, there's a lot of shit happening, beyond the wall, and there's still more things going to happen, and I really look forward to that. But that was a really cool scene to see how people act when they don't get the food, and it's kind of like with the Russian Revolution, how that started. So it was really cool to see how this began, and just a big battle at Craster's Keep, and just crazy stuff happening. But yeah, it was sad to see Lord Commander Mormont die. I really liked him, but we're going to get a new Lord Commander. Maybe not in season 3, maybe in season 4, we'll see. But yeah, it's gonna be epic. And Arya and Thoros and Gendry and all those, they have going to this big cave where they're going to have a trial by battle, which is the Hound versus Dondarrion. Now that didn't happen, but the trial, started to begin, and Arya, she told about this kid Micah, if you remember him way back to season 1, the butcher boy they called him, and the Hound, he killed him in like cold blood. But yes, and now the Hound have to go for a trial for battle, and he's going to battle Dondarrion, which is going to happen next episode, which is going to be epic, because I remember that from the book, and one of the most memorable fight scenes in the book. So yeah, I really look forward to that. And the last scene, which was the best, is that Dany, she gets her army of Unsullied. And, she said in the last episode that she would give her, biggest dragon to the owner of the Unsullied. And, they agreed on that. And she gives the dragon to that, bald guy who calls Dany a bitch all the time. And when you find out that Dany, she knows the Valyrian language, and she knew all the time what, that bald guy said. So she orders, she has now buffed, the army, and she orders them to kill every man who has a whip in their hand, and they use slaves and stuff like that, and she also get her dragon to kill the bald guy, and just a big battle. We didn't get to see much of the battle, but a big battle happened. And then at the very end, you see Dany commands her army to march from Astapor and to a new place, which is where I'm probably guessing they're getting there in a couple of episodes. But yeah, she has gotten her army, and things are heating up. Season 3 has only begun. Just think about it, only begun. We're soon halfway through, and things are heating up, and this is the best episode so far, and I'm really looking forward to the next episodes, because this show is just getting better and better, and yeah, I can't wait. So, what did you think of the episode? Comment below and let me know, and if you like this video, please press like, and if you really like this video and my other videos, then press subscribe, because that would make me very happy. Alright, have a good day.